Nepal youth protests erupted in the capital city of Kathmandu with the ban on social media platforms. Clashes broke out as protesters tried to enter the parliament, forcing police to fire tear gas, water cannons and rubber bullets. At least 14 people have been killed and several others injured in the firing. This is as per local media reports. Let's tell you, a curfew has been imposed. The government says the ban targets fake accounts on social media spreading hate speech and fraud. But for more on that, let me go across to Times Network's Priyank Tripathi joining us from Ground Zero for more. Priyank, very good evening. First of all, I hope you're doing safe. And looking at these visuals on our screens play out, clearly mayhem that has unfolded. But at the moment, what do we know and what can you tell us?
See, there was a high-level meeting which was scheduled in Kathmandu, and certainly what we are getting to know that there is no decision which has been taken by the government side to revoke the ban on these total 26 social media platform, which certainly created an outrage among the youth, and the Gen Zs came out on protest. But there have been multiple reasons which has also contributed to this particular protest, which certainly resulted to death of approximately 14 students in the police firing. What we are getting to know that there is no decision which has been taken to revoke the ban, and certainly there will be a cabinet meeting which is expected to happen tomorrow, which can take further decision to take stock of the situation and whether the ban can be revoked or not. On the other side, what we are getting to know that the government in picture is also looking at the involvement of several other political parties also who want to come into power, and their supporters and their party workers could have also infiltrated among the youth who came out on the streets, because the call of the ban was pretty much given few hours back, which could have given some more ample time to these political parties to come out on the streets, and certainly they can carry out for the protests. The death number is certainly a worrying thing, which has been a major challenge for the government here in Nepal, where the government is certainly trying to look into that how they can actually control the situation and calm down the protesters. Since the last 2 hours, there is no further report of any kind of massive clash in between protesters and the police officers. But as soon as the number of information of all these deaths can be circulated, then certainly that can result into further protests. So the basic point is that the government is yet to take the decision to revoke the ban. The number of deaths is reported to be 14, and the protesters are still out on the streets.
You know, Priyanka, as you point that out, in fact, the protesters aren't only angry about the ban, they're also chanting against corruption and dysfunction, some of it which could be also seen in the placards. But in a sense, do you see this digital shutdown as a trigger that could snowball into a broader governance crisis?
Because 17 years back, the monarchy left, and in fact, it was thrown out, and that led to coming out to a democratic form of government. And in the recent past, what we have seen that the monarchy had also pushed these protesters to come out on the street and demand removal of the democratically formed government. There have been corruption, which is for sure one of the reasons, and the unemployment is another reason for this kind of protest. But the ban on the social media certainly led to a feeling among the protesters and the youth that their voices are also being attempted to be muzzled out by the government. So the social media trend started, and then which led to a formation of a group of social media influencers on all those people who were also supporting this cause, that they have a massive rampant corruption which is there in Nepal, and which is also leading to these kind of unemployment of the youth. That was going in the backdrop, and suddenly when the government came in with a ban on 26 social media platform, so that trending hashtag was certainly affected, and that triggered the mindset among the youth that this is being done to muzzle their voices, and they have nowhere to go apart from coming out on protesting on the street. So as soon as the protesters called for the protest, certainly the government came into revoking curfew in several areas. But that was certainly not enough, because the protesters were very angry. It was boiling up over the period of last few months also, and the involvement of other political parties into this picture has certainly changed the total dynamic, and silent protest turn into violent. The reasonable voices which should have come out has also been taken into different accounts.
So that is the conversation at that. Of course, we'll keep coming back to you as you get us more inputs from Ground Zero. But as we put that into context,